My name is Cheri. Welcome to my stamp studio. You are joining me for the second in a landscape series that I did. We had a Facebook event. It was super fun with 6 or 7 and 8 of the other girls in my demonstrator team. It was for all of our customers, and we just showcased a bunch of different techniques, a bunch of different cards. It was kind of a way, since we couldn't do in-home camps this month, that we could get together with all of our customers and all of those that we keep in touch with online, just to stamp and to give you some ideas. So we had different sessions, and one of them was called art therapy. So for that, for my part, I did landscapes, where you just kind of stamp for fun. So the first card I did, I've already showed. This one's already posted. So the tutorial is up for this one. So super simple, couldn't be any easier. And I'm gonna show you another one. And then I do have a third, but I may do it on its own. I may combine it with another card because it's pretty simple. They're all pretty simple. Because the idea of the art therapy class was not to be stressed by your art, but to just have fun with it. So all of us had different ways that were to just get lost in the craft of it and not to be stressed about it. But I did want to let you know before I start stamping, we have some more events coming up this coming Saturday. If you're watching this and the video is still new and you are a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, we have a class coming up that we're going to show you how you can do some of these online events, and we are going to do 3 of our retired classes. So you'll actually be taking 3 of our classes as part of the class on how to learn how to do them yourself. So whether or not you just want to do them so you can kind of take our classes, or whether or not you do want to learn how to do it. So it's super fun. The information on how to register for that will be on my website or down below this video. And then the following Tuesday, if you're one of my customers or you're not a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, we are having another one like we just did this past week, but it's going to be for the retired list, because that comes out on Wednesday, which is probably tomorrow when I post this video. So it'll again be the 6 of us that do the videos, all things retired. So each of us will take an hour-ish, a little less than an hour, and pick some of our favorite things that we'll lose and we'll show you. And so then I also have a class by mail that's free if you purchase, where I'm going to send you some of the retiring stuff and you're going to stamp with me. So that's coming up in May. And then also in May, we're going to do another encore super fun Facebook party for the new catalog, and you'll get the catalog and you'll get some make and takes and you'll get some goodies, all like a whole party pack of stuff. So you'll definitely want to be in on that one, and you'll get the details for that if you show up for the retired event on Tuesday. So all of that you can find out about. So for this one, again, I'm going to use Mountain Air, and it is a bundle. I will come back for the third one, because on that one, I'm going to use the dies that go with it. I'm using dies, but not the dies that go with it. And then I'm also using Label Me Bold, which is in the January to June mini catalog. And this is the first time that I had used it for these cards. But then once I broke it out, I've used it a couple of times. I really like it. It's cute little words. Gonna aim my camera down. So I picked a really fun color combination for this card. At least I think it's fun. I have grapefruit, flamingo, and Highland heather. So it was kind of going, we went to the Rockies last year. Oh, and I didn't get scrap paper again, but I am going to grab it. But we went to the Rockies for vacation last summer, and we're supposed to go to the Canadian Rockies this summer. So still crossing our fingers and holding out hope that perhaps we can travel internationally. You know, it's not really even, it is internationally, but is it? So this card's kind of inspired by those trips. So the stamp set that I'm using is called Reversibles. And so you can see when you look at it, it's got stamps that look like they have a lot of detail, which are these sides. And then it's got these things that I call blobs. And today, for today's card, we're only using the blobs for the mountains, and then we're going to use the detailed side of the trees. So then I have Petal Pink for the card, even though I'm not the, okay, here's a thing, a design technique for you. Here's my ink colors, and And then here's my cardstock colors. They're not the same. So just because these are the ink colors you chose, that doesn't mean that you have to pick the same cardstock colors, because Stampin' Up's cards, our colors coordinate so well. So I went for brighter colors so my design's really gonna pop, and then lighter colors to just kind of frame the design. So I've got Purple Posy and Petal Pink. Petal Pink's lovely. It's such a fun, especially spring. It's also the color of my wedding dress, so I'm a little partial. And then I'm gonna use Blackberry, because that's really gonna pop the whole thing. So let's stamp. So we're gonna use, like I said, the blob of the mountains. So I already have this turned over, and you'll feel that because it's the side that doesn't have any etching in it. And you're gonna need either your chamois or your Stampin' scrub, whatever you use to to clean your stamps with when you use these stamps, because when you flip them back and forth, they need to be cleaned. So I'm gonna go Flamingo first. It's the darkest one, so this is gonna be the focal mountain. It's kind of sunset of the sun hitting the mountain range over the lake. So just kind of put this in the middle of your card. Just like that. And then before I'm gonna grab my sponge. All of my stuff is still laying here from the weekend, but it's all been kind of moved, so nothing's exactly where it goes. And I'm gonna stamp one more time. I'm gonna move it over just a fraction. I'm gonna go down with it. Just there. And this will just give it, again, the lighter appearance of some more mountains in the distance. And then just clean that real quick. And then I'm going to go Grapefruit Grove. I'm going to do it high again. And you want to offset them all just a little bit. And then again, for my shadows, for one more little layer of mountain ranges. So you can see here, now we have staggered 4 different staggerings of the mountains. And now I'm going to take my Highland Heather. This is actually flipped around from my other card that I just made. Flip this back around because I want the etched side. So it gives you double use out of all these stamps, because you get them both directions. And I'm just going to take this line of trees down here and put them right at the bottom of my lake. If you don't have one of these sponges and you use photopolymer stamps, especially these bigger ones, it gives you more of a push, because the rubber ones have that little bit of foam behind them. Look how pretty that is. And if you're a child of the 80s and you went to the beach in the summer, you may be seeing some t-shirts that you may have gotten airbrushed back in the day. So now I'm going to take our stamping sponges, and these come in a group of, like, in circles, and they're inexpensive, and I cut them into 4 pieces. So here's my one that I've used with Highland Heather, and just kind of drag it over. This is shimmery white cardstock, so it does have a little bit of texture, and it gives you a little bit longer to work with, because you can rub it without anything happening to it. So I'm just going to add some lake water. And just kind of keep moving it. You can kind of just play with it and get the illusion of water down there. Kind of fill up here where it may be a little bit still whitish from that top section. There we go. And then I'm going to get, I've got the Grapefruit Grove open, so we'll go with it. Grab my grapefruit And this is going to fill in our sky just up here at the top. And the other thing I like to do with this on this is you can see a couple of places here because the mountains aren't quite as long as what my card was. So just fill that in. And it keeps it from having any dead space right there. Just anywhere where there was just a tiny bit of white. And it just fills that in nicely. It just kind of smooths those out. And then we just need where the sun is setting on your lake, and I'm going to do that with some flamingo. This also does get your hands dirty. So you just want this right here in the middle, and then you just kind of pull it into the water. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so we'll set that aside. And then I pulled these out of one of our other die sets. It's not the one that goes with this particular set, but it's the one I wanted to go with this particular card. So I'll put the link to these dies with the post. So I'm gonna run these through my brand new plates. If you haven't ordered brand new plates, you may want to get them because, you know, over the weekend I kept cutting with my old ones, and I kept thinking I need to get new ones out because new ones, once they're too cut up, they just don't cut very well. It's not enough cutting surface left on them. So just roll these through. And then I'm going to go back just because it's a little bit more detailed and it'll help me get it out faster. So here those are there. And then this is beautiful, but it's on shimmer cardstock, and I would like for it to look a little bit like it's a painting. So take your Subtles embossing folder, which is a must-have. You can't live without this, and put it in here, and it's really going to give it then that watercolor. Look at my hands. It's going to give it that watercolor linen kind of feel. And it just takes all of your art up a notch if you use this folder, and you'll see what I mean. Nothing like using your machine backwards. So now, look at this. It just adds that really pretty linen-y effect to it. Okay, let's stick this puppy together and hope that I don't get my stuff all over it. Use my bone folder. So put this on my petal pink and my posy. And then I'm going to get my words that I had, and here is a piece of shimmer white cardstock that I was originally practicing what I wanted my design to look like, and I hated to waste the shimmer white cardstock, so this has now become a little scrap piece for me. And here's my happy birthday from the label set. I'm going to just ink this with a blackberry marker. I like markers on these little stamps. It gives you just a hair bit more ink, I think. It gets a little stronger. So get that. Where did I put scissors? Trim this out. Just with scissors, you don't have to do anything fancy with it. Out. And this is one of the ones where you're going to have to cut the ends because it stays attached to the paper. Still don't have the last one off. There we go. So just wiggle these out. Careful not to break any of your cattails. See what I mean? These are just, they're stuck on the ends. Okay, so now you have these, and this too is longer than what you're going to need. So now take these pieces, and this one gets mounted here. And then take this. There's enough larger spaces on this that you can really get some adhesive on there. Stick that there. And then what I did for these ends here was I just went to the end of my card and just snip those off. Just like that. And then just take your little happy birthday and just add it there. And then you end up with a really pretty sunset scene. Now these are both a little bit different. This one's more like this one. These I did, on this one I tried not using the settles folder, which I didn't like as well. I do like it to have the linen effect. And then this one I also added some darker trees, and I liked to keep the trees lighter. Also has kind of an African safari look to it. So there you go. I hope you enjoy that. I'll be back with one more from this series. So I will stick all the details for upcoming events and my specials on my blog, so you can go over there and check that out. Have a great day. Bye.